His first media interview on the incident.
Shannon, it's been a difficult 6 months for Sheriff Edwards. A newly released report from the Helena Police Department has brought his case back to the forefront. But before that came out, I had a chance to sit down for an in-depth interview with the sheriff.
Even though I'm not guilty of the crime, it's a huge eye-opener for me.
Cascade County Sheriff Bob Edwards says playing golf at a law enforcement conference in Helena on June 15, 2017 was the culmination of a great day. But a disagreement with his girlfriend at the end of the round would change his life forever.
The disagreement carried on back to the motel, and decision was made, we're just going to leave. This isn't fun anymore, we're just going to go. So during the packing, it got loud. It was very loud. I'm not going to candy coat things, it was very loud.
When he left the room, another sheriff asked Edwards if he was responsible for the disturbance. And when Edwards said yes, the sheriff told him the Helena Police Department was on its way.
Some of the reports said that there was a gun involved. How do you address that?
There were people that heard, they claimed they heard a gun being racked, in other words, being loaded, numerous times. It doesn't make sense. Through the investigation, they proved that there was no gun involved, and that's what people don't know. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this interview.
Edwards says if there had been a gun involved, he would have faced a felony charge. He would be cited with misdemeanor partner family member assault, or PFMA. And though he says he didn't seek any special treatment, he would also see a judge that same night.
Well, apparently behind the scenes something was going on, and to where they called the judge and said, well, it's my understanding the jail was extremely crowded there, and they were concerned about my life and my safety in the jail. They came in and told me that I'd be seeing a judge, which actually kind of took me back. I did not expect that at all.
Edwards also wants to clear up any misconceptions about his legal agreement.
I had deferred prosecution where I'm not guilty of a crime and the charges are dropped. Deferred sentence means guilty, you're convicted of a crime, but your sentence is deferred if you behave yourself.
Edwards says he struggles with breaking his own policy that states employees will not act in any way that brings discredit to themselves or the agency.
It's black and white. I brought discredit to the sheriff's office because what I do represents everybody. I did not, and I have never placed my hands on any woman with the intent to cause harm.
In August, Sheriff Edwards held a press conference to announce that he'd be back in the office after a nearly 2-month absence.
Talk about returning to work, and when you finally did, what was the reaction from the deputies and the rest of the staff?
It was difficult to walk through that door. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know the reaction I was going to get. Let's put it this way, for probably a good 3 weeks, awful quiet around me.
Reaction to his return was mixed, ranging from a few who thought he should resign to those who still supported him. He expects to make a decision in mid-February about a run for re-election. His term as sheriff has been marked by some rocky moments. He's not proud of what happened that June night, but he refuses to let it define him.
And I feel horrible because my actions that night, being loud, disruptive, I don't want to dishonor anybody, and I felt I did. But I love this job. And other than this incident, now if I had to walk out the door tomorrow, I'm going to hold my head up high because I feel I've made a difference. I really do. I'm not trying to be arrogant or boastful, but I've held true to what I said we were going to do, and that's a good feeling.
Sheriff Edwards says he's greatly exceeded the amount of counseling required by his agreement, and he says the incident has brought him back to his center where he needs to be.